Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another round of rapid fire reviews. So I do these when I get a little behind on my movie watching for the year. I'm very behind, so I have another 4 films to blast through to give my general opinions about it, what I liked, what I didn't like, what I thought worked, what I thought didn't work, and of course my overall score and my recommendation to watch these films or not. So I mostly do straight to streaming movies, or of course just movies that came out in theaters that I missed out on until now. So the 4 movies that I have today are Speak No Evil, Tar, Disenchanted, and Armageddon Time. So yes, without further ado, let me get into it so I can go watch more movies and do more reviews for the end of 2022 here. So the first film I have is Speak No Evil. This one comes in at just a little longer than 90 minutes long. Came out a little earlier in the year, so you should be able to find this on a lot of rental services, some streaming services. But I was able to watch it on Amazon Prime. But this is about a Danish family that visits a Dutch family they met on holiday. And what was supposed to be a very idyllic weekend away slowly starts unraveling as the Danish family just try to stay polite in the face of just great unpleasantness that they are receiving from, again, just this Dutch family that they're now visiting and getting to know a lot more. So I want to say right off the bat that I would not recommend this film to anybody because it is so friggin' effective in what it tries to do. It is definitely a slow burn of a film that has just, I mean, a really, really fantastic payoff, but it is one of the most effective horror thriller movies ever in terms of making me feel uncomfortable, in terms of making me feel disgusted. This movie ruined my day. And definitely kind of goes into the I don't want to talk to people ever again, no matter where I am in the world, really kind of vibe. And again, too, this movie is just absolutely crushing in a lot of ways, and it's very, very good. And again, too, it's just great at making you feel uncomfortable in terms of awkwardness, and of course, too, when it gets into the horror, it's good at making you feel uncomfortable and just the brutality and the disgustingness of it. It's a very, very tough watch, especially near the end of it. Again, it's a slow burn, things unravel in a lot of ways, but it is disturbing, disgusting. Again, I can't recommend it to anyone, but I have to score it an 8 out of 10, really, because it is a fantastic, amazingly made movie that is, again, just to a very disturbing, disgusting premise, but amazing in doing what it set out to do, and amazingly shot, amazingly directed. The music in it is really, really effective in a lot of ways. It is one of the best horror thriller movies you will watch this year or that has come out in a long, long time. It's fantastic. Don't watch it. The next film I have is Tar. This is, well, it stars Cate Blanchett and is directed by Todd Field. It is about 2 hours and 40 minutes long. You can still probably catch it in most theaters right now, but I was able to watch this on demand. And it is set in the, so it's a fictional movie, but it's set in the international world of Western classical music, and it centers on Lydia Tarr, played by Cate Blanchett, who is widely considered one of the greatest living composer, conductors, and first ever female director of the major German orchestra. Just wow is really all that I can say when it comes to this movie in terms of its performances, in terms of its pacing, in terms of its set design. It is incredible in so many ways, and the ways that they weave musical history and culture and just a lot of the things that they talk about in this movie when it comes to, again, to not being prejudice of anyone's background, whether they be privileged or not, when it comes into music, and focusing on the music, what it does for the culture, what it takes, and again, too, does new and progresses, is very, very well done. And they offer you so many perspectives that could make you feel uncomfortable a lot of the times, but it offers amazing insight to a lot of social issues that, again, too, arise from music, that music can tackle and do things. It has amazing commentary on so many things, and just the acting from everyone, side characters to, I mean, Cate Blanchett's Oscar worthy performance. It's incredible, and I don't think I'm gonna see a better for performance from anyone really this year. She's definitely up there. In what she did with this movie, she was freaking incredible in it, and yeah, it's just absolutely amazing. I loved how this story played out. Again, too, it can be a little bit of a slow burn at times, but just incredible, absolutely incredible. If you like the drama movies, lots of commentary, paying attention, and again, to just reading into a lot of things, and a lot of the things too, that conversations that come back to haunt her in a lot of ways, and just her actions that come back to haunt her in a lot of ways near the end of this film, and again how it all just progresses and plays through is something fantastic and amazing. And I think that's most any moviegoer will want to experience, because this is just incredibly made incredibly made film, and there's not really too much I can say about it. Just at times it can, I mean, a little slow but effective in everything that it's doing. I think that every scene absolutely mattered, and again too, it's just one of the best films of this year, and that's why I'm gonna have to give Tar a 9 out of 10. Highly recommend it. I do think that this is going to be it's gonna get a lot of nominations and everything when it comes to the award season this year, and it's very, very well deserved. And I'm hoping that Kate Blanchett can bring it home, because this was a performance of a lifetime, really. So the next film I have, you will find on Disney Plus. It is about 2 hours long, and it is Disenchanted. So after 15 years, we finally have the sequel to Enchanted. I had so of course Amy Adams, Patrick Dempsey are back in this. Maya Rudolph is in this, playing the villainous character. And I did enjoy it at the time. Came to that 15 years ago, so at a good age where this was shown in all my schools and whatnot. So I definitely remember it. And I watched this one with my girlfriend, who loved the first movie. And so again, too, as it took 15 years for this movie to be made, it also takes 15 years after the events of the first film. After her happily ever after, Giselle questions basically her happiness, and inevitably turning the lives of those in the real world and Andalasia, so again where she's from, upside down in the process. She has a way to basically, well, just realize that her New York lifestyle isn't working for her, and she wants to live again the fairy tale life once again. So she makes a wish that starts to just again turn both worlds upside down for the worst in a lot of ways. And again too, it's very goofy, very silly, definitely aimed towards the kids in a lot of ways, but I did quite enjoy this movie a bit. It can be very funny at points. I like the characters within it. I didn't find that it was over long. It actually had a pretty decent storyline. Again too, it can be very, very goofy, but that's where the first movie thrived, and that's where this movie thrives in a lot of times. It's meant for kids. It's fun in a lot of ways. And yeah, there's not really a whole lot more I can say without spoilers, but definitely enjoyed it. It's very good family friendly fun for a lot of the time. And if you like the first one, I do feel like this built upon the world in a lot of good ways. And again, we just did really good things with just again the characters and everything. So I'm gonna have to give it a 7 out of 10 at the end of the day. It was very, very fun for again what it was supposed to be. Now the last film I have today is just under 2 hours long. It is Armageddon Time. You'll find this one um I have seen some theaters, but more like the independent theaters still playing this one. But you'll probably find this more on-demand services now, some streaming services. And it is a very deeply personal coming-of-age story about strength of family and the generational pursuits of the American dream within the 1970s. Directed by James Gray, and stars Anne Hathaway, Jeremy Strong, and Anthony Hopkins in this. And yeah, it's definitely a very great coming-of-age story. I find that I feel like a lot of people who grew up in the 70s or were around in the 70s are going to have a greater nostalgic appreciation for this movie. That just the way it was filmed on like the 1970s cameras, and the set design and everything is very, very true to it. Does a really good time tackling this time era. And I guess it's just a really, really good job with handling a lot of issues of the immigrant experience, the a feeling of people who have their family has been in America for a long time, but feel still segregated because of the color of their skin, the race. Just it deals with a lot of really great things that this time era made really tough for a lot of families, and it was very, very good in the sense of doing that. And it's an amazing character story that unfortunately I feel like the story was very, very tropey on its own. Not really a slow burn that paid off in a lot of ways, but the characters within it are very, very fully realized and fully utilized in a lot of ways. It's just unfortunately the story can be very tropey a lot of the times and very predictable a lot of the times, but it just did a very, very good job again to just handling its characters. And again, so even though I feel like the nostalgia factor is only going to hit for people who grew up in this time era or really knew the time era, it's not going to resonate too much with people from again the younger generations. It is a very, very good movie and something to appreciate, and it is a really, really good movie. And without further ado, I'm gonna have to give it 7 out of 10. Very, very good, and I do recommend giving this one a shot. The performances in it are great, and it's just yeah, it's a very sweet, bitter heart. It's a good coming of age story. So if you've seen any of these films, please let me know what you thought about them in the comments down below. And of course, if you like this review, definitely give it a thumbs up. You can check out everything I do on this channel. Links and playlists up top here for convenience sake. Thank you for subscribing and turn that little ringer on if you want to know when I upload new videos. And if you want to check out the description of this video and my channel bio, there's a link to the media amount, which is my Discord where we talk about movies, video games, comic books, TV, pretty much everything that's awesome in this world. So you can definitely join that amazing community. I'll make it even more amazing than it is already. And yeah, just awesome, guys.
Sky blue eyes, I see a world behind them. No more time sinking into the side.